Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today's video hopefully will be a really short one. I know I always lie about that. But today's video is going to be entitled "Do We Get It Yet?" So let's just get into it. Um, the thing I watched the Amanda Seals versus 20 Black Conservatives last night. I encourage everyone to watch it. It's a good situation to just see, how people are thinking, and it's I'm just going to leave it right there. But what it left me to, talk to you guys about today is, I guess, the through line in all conservative politics, because um, I can see in watching that video and some of my studies previously, why certain people would be compelled with, MAGA or Republican ethics. A lot of it is like just a misunderstanding of history, but Black people used to be Republicans. Like the Republican Party was the party of Abraham Lincoln. But, obviously that has shifted, in modern times. Abraham Lincoln would never be the party of this Republican Party today. And, during the civil rights movement, they basically flipped, what I'm saying, where the Republicans became Democrats, the Democrats became Republicans. But a lot of Black folks, I'm realizing, like, kind of connect with that ethos of the original Republicans, and they kind of bypass all the modern history that has happened, that modern day Republicans have been against every civil rights that anyone has ever gotten to this day. And it's sort of why I wanted to make the video today. It's suggesting that I would love for any person right now to think of any policy that advocates, that MAGA or Republicans advocate for, that doesn't intrinsically help white Christian straight men. Just one. And I think that's the video. Like, that's it. There is nothing that these people advocate for that doesn't benefit that group either exclusively or predominantly. And I think we get into this trap, right, where we might actually like a policy that they have, or we might resonate with something that's going on there. But I think the thing that we have to look at, that's the most important thing, is that, like, while you might relate to like one or two policies that you kind of gravitate towards, you need to understand that this party is solely about white Christian straight men, and you can't tell me one policy that they advocate for that doesn't benefit them. And I think inherently that's why Democrats, and that's why people are upset with Democrats, because the Democratic Party is basically, you're not a Republican, right? And there's so many tents in the Democratic Party, is that it makes it really difficult to unite. And there are a lot of people that are single issue voters, like, a lot of people that really care about immigration, a lot of people really care about civil rights, a lot of people really care about LGBTQ rights. What I'm saying? There are a lot of people that care about wages and minimum wage increases and all those things. And all those people don't necessarily fuck with each other. Right? What I'm saying? Like, these are all things that we 100% know the Republican Party does not like. But all those things that I just discussed right now could have people that disagree with a lot of things within that same category. However, they're supposed to be housed in the same political interests, which is exactly why things don't really get done in that space, because everybody's like, well, what about me? What I'm saying? In my things. And it's just like in a coalition where you're trying to build the interests of people that are not this singular body that has dominated this country 100% of the time. It's hard to unite. And especially when you have the other side that is invested in the lack of unity amongst the other side. They are playing all those things against them. And I think that is like what I saw in kind of the Black conservative video that I was watching yesterday. It's like they were just looking at things in a complete and total vacuum. What I'm saying? Like in terms of, like, okay, let's not talk about black on black. I mean, we don't want to talk about black on black crime, but everyone's so incensed when there's like a white, crime happening against black people. And it's like, okay, if you look at things from a vacuum of no historical context, you might kind of understand that. But it's like, the conditions in which black and black crime exist today are a remnant of white supremacy and things like redlining, right? Where they were literally dictating what neighborhoods black people could go to. And of course, they had low property value, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, and crime and poverty are the number one variables that follow each other. So these communities were literally designed to be high crime areas, and they were designed to have vagrancy so that they could arrest a lot of people and get a lot of free prison labor because the only people in America that can still be slaves are prisoners. And so it was a direct line, to have this happen. And we talk about the destruction of the black family. I'm digressing, but yes, if you get a lot of people in prison, that destroys the family, and the men are usually the breadwinner, so it like works in a cyclical way. But then if you look at things in a vacuum, you just say, well, why can't they get their communities together, right? But those communities were built on poor foundations, and which was intentional and deliberate. But I digress to say that I could name a bunch of policies, what I'm saying, that Democrats advocate for that benefit subgroups, right? That benefit specific pockets of people, what I'm saying, right? And if you look at it, that's exactly why Republicans and MAGA are against it. They think, well, why can't I get things that benefit me? You know what I'm saying? Like, and they are able to unite because all of their agendas and objectives benefit the exact same demographic. And in turn, it is much easier to unite against other folks too. So, like, we are uniting for us, but I don't want to unite it. Like, those gays don't deserve rights, right? Poor people are evil. They're just lazy, right? So, but yet the Democratic Party does things for poor people. They do things for gay people. They do things for immigrants, right? And they have policies that specifically impact these populations, but they leave out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, black people could be like, well, I don't like this thing about immigration. Like, what about me? But that is inherently the problem. So I just want us to get out of that "what about me" syndrome and acknowledge that unless you're a white, straight Christian male, it requires sacrifice to get things done, right? It can never just be about you. And that's why they unite. That's why they're united. And that's why they're united against you, because they understand that the policies that benefit them inherently can't benefit you. And I just want us to get out of that cycle and realize that we are forced to build coalitions in this space. And just ask yourself if the Republican Party will ever do something that will benefit something that's not a white, straight Christian man. Have they ever posed any bill at all, even if it benefits you individually? You know what I'm saying? Which is a unique cause. Does it benefit the majority of people that look like you, that are in your economic tax bracket or anything like that? And more than likely, if you really truly evaluate it, you'll see the common thread. So until next time.